Citizen.
Carlos was born in Spain. He is a Spanish citizen. He was given an official document proving he was a citizen.
We are New York law-abiding citizens.
My father is a senior citizen.
She says the next question is how to make those improved policies result in growth that helps all of a country's citizens.
Citizen.
Declare.
They will declare the result of an election. Japan declared war on the United States in 1941.
Prime Minister officially declared COVID-19 a national epidemic.
They will declare the result of an election.
The area has been declared a disaster zone. Declare.
Enormous.
That duck is absolutely enormous. There is an enormous amount of alternative media.
This drug holds enormous potential for the treatment of strokes.
The price of property has risen enormously.
He has an enormous snout.
Enormous.
Extraordinary.
Blackbeard did an extraordinary thing.
She sometimes comes out with the most extraordinary remarks.
Being chairman gave him an extraordinary sense of power.
The film tells the extraordinary story of two people struggling to survive in the Arctic.
Blackbeard did an extraordinary thing.
Extraordinary.
Fog.
The fog prevented us from driving.
After he heard the bad news, he was in a fog for a moment.
We could see a dim shape in the fog. It will be warm and foggy in hue.
The fog is expected to have cleared away by midday.
Fog.
Funeral.
They had a funeral for the soldier who died during the war.
Music makes a funeral more solemn and mournful.
They had a funeral for the soldier who died during the war.
He requested time off to attend his grandmother's funeral.
Funeral.
Giant.
The giant truck is parking there.
The giant leaf caught all the raindrops.
Climbing over the giant rock was the biggest obstacle for the hikers.
The giants give him a big raise.
The sun is just like a giant spotlight.
Giant.
Income.
Average incomes have risen by 4.5% over the past year. The area depends on agriculture for most of its income.
She withheld the information about her income tax.
In a progressive tax system, rich people pay a higher percentage of their income as taxes than do poor people.
I could have had automated income.
Income.
Mad.
She's mad at me for being late.
The manager made him her assistant.
3 years later, Madigan led a scientific expedition across the sand dunes on a more northerly route. The nucleus is made up of many tiny particles.
Annapolis was made the temporary capital of the nation.
Mad.
Ought.
I ought to take my library books back. I am doubtful what I ought to do.
She ought to be given the sack.
If we want to get ahead of our competitors, we ought to invest more in R&D.
They ought to apologize.
Ought.
Resist.
The Romans resisted Hannibal's attacks.
Nickel is useful because of its resistance to corrosion. No one could resist the chance for a snowball fight.
The authorities Martin Luther King resisted are now viewed as the worst kind of scum.
They resisted our attempts to modernize the distribution of books.
Resist.
Reveal. I have something great to reveal. The best art reveals new dimensions of experience. An autopsy revealed an unlikely wound on the victim's thigh.
The actor was clearly in distress when he found out that his personal secret had been revealed.
The secret is revealed finally. Reveal.
Rid.
They wanted to get rid of him.
He poured off the water to get rid of the dirt and husks.
The most common horse riding accidents involve falls from a horse.
I'm on a ride.
When he had not returned with my money an hour later, I realized that I had been taken for a ride.
Rid.
Sword.
They used to use swords in battles in ancient times. I thudded the butt of my rattan sword on the inside of the shield. They used to use swords in battles in ancient times. This is the actual sword that the king owned, not a fake one. The boss didn't want to cross swords with the workers' union.
Sword. Tale.
He told some fascinating tales about his life in India. Four of the contestants stand out as being more talented than the rest.
The team has many talented players. He is a man of great talent.
The university educated thousands of talented men for the country.
Tale.
Trap.
I was trapped in a tiny office. She is trapped in her unhappy marriage.
He froze like a trapped animal.
I was trapped into paying for the meal.
The child needed treatment after trapping her finger in the car door.
Trap.
Violent.
He was one of the most violent pirates ever.
He frequently exhibited violent behavior.
We had the misfortune to run into a violent storm.
That was a very violent film.
Alcohol can produce violent, disruptive behavior.
Violent.
Trial.
He did not receive a fair trial.
His lawyers are arguing that he is unfit to stand trial.
A trial
He did not receive a fair trial.
They had an excellent idea for the project. They sent up a trial balloon, but the response was very negative. Trial.
Council.
Our party won the majority of seats on the city councils.
Talk to your local councillor about the problem.
They prepared a report for submission to the council. The council has relaxed the ban on dogs in city parks.
This means that in effect each member can control the agenda of the council.